Hey guys, this is Justin with Ready Business Systems, and this is Copilot versus Service Autopilot. And this is video 8. Apparently, I don't know how to count, and I've been counting 5 twice and 6 twice, but we're back on track. Figured out how to count, and we're on video 8, and I will work on my counting here moving forward. So anyway, last video, we were contacting Parker for support about these multi-step programs. I was having issues with the start date. So I was putting in a start date in April and it was showing up in November, which didn't make any sense to me. So we did get that resolved. I'm still waiting on the answer to another question here regarding estimates and how we're quoting these. The example we're using here is a spring cleanup package and how we're going to quote that on estimates, because the issue is that on these multi-step programs here, which are how they set up like their fertilizing and their spring cleanups, etc. For the waiting list and a package of services, the way they have that set up, you can't quote this on an estimate as far as I can see, which could be problematic, or at least you need a workaround for it. The other thing is, in his video, I got some notes that this waiting list, I already had notes it needs work. He said it's going to be redone, typo there, redone end of this year or early 2024. So there seems to be a lot of promises here, so we'll see how they deliver on those. But that could be problematic because I still didn't really get an answer to the question about the dates for these jobs, like this fertilizing program. How does that work if it's not done on a specific date? And I think he forgot to answer that, that question, so I'm just going to jot a note down here for that. So anyway, let's keep marching forward here. I'll show you what I learned about the start date. So I'm going to delete this multi-step program here and start from scratch. And I'll show you what I was doing wrong. So we're going to add this fertilizing program, right? It's this multi-step program, and we're going to add it to the client, which is going to be this example here we've been using. So what I did wrong is this. So I want to start. So if we look back at the package, on Service Autopilot here, you can see that our application starts on April 1st. It has to be done sometime in this window. So because today's date is November 7th, it wants to schedule it for November 7th. But obviously, and because their packages don't work the same right now, that you have you have these windows of time, as soon as I add it, it's going to schedule that job. And obviously, we don't want to do a spring application in November. So when I put in the start date here, I tried putting April 1st because that would make sense, right? So I'm going to put in 04, 01, 23. And I guess what I was doing wrong is I was clicking create program here, but you have to click out of the box. So simple solution. Let's see if that actually works. Create program. Okay, so I put in 4-1, right? And it appears to be on 4-1. Okay. No, it's appearing on 5-1. Because there's a 30-day wait period between the last application. Well, that's still not really working for me here. App 2 compost, May 31st. Yeah, not loving that. So I'm going to bring that to his attention as well. And I will let you guys know what sort of resolution I get to this. But the reason why this is doing May 1st instead of April 1st is I plugged in here is because of this 30 days thing. Parker had initially told me that it would be based off of this, but this client has never had this application done before, so why is it automatically adding 30 days? It looks to me like it's going to add 30 days no matter what. You know, there's always going to be workarounds. I guess what we could do here is schedule this for the start date to be 30 days prior. It's kind of silly, but it looks like it would work, right? Because in all these dates would be a month earlier. This would be April 1st, right? This would be, this is 30 days, right? Okay, so that's going to add them every 30 days after that. So that would work. But my question is still on the scheduling, because they don't have a waiting list. How does this work? Like, is this application here going to be only on, like, I don't want to do them all on May 1st, right? It has to be done after that. So I'm not familiar with their scheduling yet. I don't know how this works. I don't know how they solve this problem. I don't know how this is dealt with. But obviously, you're not going to do all this work on May 1st. So we have to look into that. dates for apps. Cool. So yeah, the other thing I confirmed here is that on these estimates, it is manual right now, right? So, and I'll show you how I would solve this problem. So we have our rate matrices here. Like we make these with a big crazy spreadsheet that plugs in these numbers for us, gets our charge rates and everything. And we do have rate matrices here with budget hours. So this is just going to be a not great process for writing up estimates until they get this implemented. And that's if they get implemented as they say they are. So if we go back to our estimates here, under finances estimates, when we write these up, we're going to have to manually enter these budget hours. So when you write this proposal, you can put in default numbers here, but that's going to vary, right? Like, so we're going to need to alter these numbers custom for every estimate. It's not going to plug anything for you. So if you have some sort of, as a workaround for me personally, if I had to do this, I would have a spreadsheet for each service and they would know what to plug in. So 0 to 5,000 feet, we would plug in these numbers on the estimate for the cost and the budget hours. Not great, right? So hopefully they get that implemented sooner rather than later. So moving forward, so we know that's a limitation there, and we do have some notes here that that's going to be updated. Yeah, so I just have a note, still working on these. So I don't know when that's going to be in full effect, but that is a loss of functionality there. So I told you in the last video, we're going to go through these calculators. I've checked them out off video, and they're pretty basic here. So jump into these. I actually haven't looked at this aerial measurements yet, so this looks interesting. We'll check that out. But these two are very basic Excel spreadsheets. So it's here if you want to use it. It looks like, but 5 hours, 20 minutes, calculate. You could build this in Excel in 2 seconds. 5.33 hours. Cool. Okay. Not a whole lot of value there, but it's there. And then we have service calculators. So mulch, again, this is just a very simple Excel equations, but I guess it could come in handy. So with 10, 100 feet long mulch bed or something, and you want to put it in 3 inches deep, it's going to give you the cubic feet, cubic yards. Okay, bags of mulch. I guess if you're getting bags of mulch, how many bags you need. I guess that could come in handy. You could do this in Excel too, but it's here. But this isn't, labor is going to be your biggest cost in this industry. So, it's telling your materials cost, great. And not even the cost, just number of bags. So it's something, but it's not much. Charge by the square foot. So again, maybe this is for like lawn mowing. We do 50 feet times 100 feet. We got 5,000 square foot property. How much you can charge per square foot? I mean, hopefully you know your numbers because, that's what this is built around. So if you charge like 0.01, I have no idea. I don't charge by a square foot. That sounds about right though. So $50, right? So, okay, that could come in handy if you build your system out that way. Sod, so this is again, gain square footage. It's going to spit out square yards. How many pieces of sod needed if they're this size? Okay. So yeah, these could be useful. I could see that for estimating how much materials you're going to need. I guess you would open this up in another tab and have your estimate in another tab. It's just not great. How long a feet is the area to be fertilized? Your minimum charge. Okay. How much are you charging per 1,000 square feet? Okay, so very basic fertilizer calculator and very basic aeration calculator. I could see these coming handy if you want to use them, but just not tons of value there, like I said. So moving on from that. Aerial measurement. So I have not used this. Let's see how this works together. So let's do a shop location as we've been doing, and we're going to click on the associated property, and it's going to pull up a map. And here's our building here. So building rate, subtract from. Okay. Enter an address, then click the Go button. Okay, I don't see a Go button. But I did do this. Choose a customer and property service address. Okay, so I did that. You can drag the blue icon to a new location to display the address at that location. Oh, I see. So it's telling me I can drag. Maybe not. Drag. Here's a blue icon. No. Well, I don't know what that means. Measurement options. Remove lost pin. Calculate distance. Clear selected shape. Clear all shapes. All right, so let's try that. There's no real instructions here, so let's just try this out. Try doing the building. Just to do it real rough, because I'm not going to use these numbers in real life anyway, right? Okay, cool. So that seemed to work pretty well. Building area. Building. 13,000. Rate. Total area. Building area. Subtract from. Okay, so I'm assuming this is going to accumulate the total square footage. So we'll say subtract from distance, property, area, custom. Let's try that. So subtract target shape does not exist. Okay. What do I do here? Enter. Oh, save measurements to property. Okay, cool. Let's try something else. Property. And let's clear all shapes. Let's go like this. And let's say the property is from, this isn't a great example because it's not a lawn here. But again, we're just messing around to pretend this is the lawn area. So you got an area, property area. So this is going to be, I think the last one said property area. So I'm just putting like lot size, I guess. And this is what we're getting, 43,000. Property, subtract from distance, building, custom area. I don't know. Save measurements to property. Lot size. So I'm trying to go to this client to locate to see where it saved this information, and I'm still just missing. I have my history here, different screens I've been on, but I don't have the client, and I can't just type in. Oh, I can. Okay, it did come up. I was just spelling it wrong. Great. Okay, so I was able to find the client. So there's kind of a quick search here. Great. So I take that back. So measurements, right? Documents. This is loading pretty slow here. Documents. Okay, so I'm seeing a lawn size here. 43,000. That was the last measurement I did, and I never said that was a lawn size, so I'm not sure. It's just labeling that there. Let's try. Okay, this is adding new property. We don't want to do that. I was just curious where it was logging that information. And you know what? Like, this must be building on for their future rate matrices, because what else do you do with that information? It's logging the lot size and whatnot with that Maps editor. This is similar to Maps Pro in Service Autopilot, right? Which doesn't work great either, to be honest. But I was just wondering where it's logged to their account, but it doesn't look like right now that's used anywhere else in the system. In SA, this number that you measure can be saved to a custom field, which it looks like they got that far. But then that custom field can be referenced in estimates to write up the proposal, and then you can price based on it. So that's nice. All right, so it looks like we did save that aerial measurement there. So let's try shop location. We'll go back to this guy. All right, so we got this lot size here. So again, it put in a field for a lawn size or something, but I never said that. So that's interesting, but it did pull this number. So I'm trying to measure this again here. I now measured this area and I saved it as building. So now we have two measurements here. So how do you save measurements to property? Let's see where that's located now and what it names those fields. Lawn size, 55,000. So what is that doing? Is that tallying these together? If we get 55,000, it is. It's putting the total here. So I think this is where we probably use this feature, subtract from, to get the total, because we don't want to add these, right? Because that's adding the square footage of the lot plus the square footage of the building. We'd like to subtract the square footage of the building. So yeah, I don't understand how this works because, you know, building distance, subtract from, anytime I get this error message misspelled. And I don't understand because I named this the same thing. How do I make this subtract? So subtract from, you would think you do something like property, right? So maybe this feature isn't working yet. In which case it doesn't provide a whole lot of value because all you can do is you can measure the square footage and save it, I suppose. So let me see what's going on with that too. Map square footage, aerial measurements. And let's see what Parker has to say about this stuff. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. We'll go through some of those errors we had there, and then let's also go through some of these items here under marketing, marketplace, automations. That'll probably be a separate video. Emails, text. Yeah, we'll poke through this marketing menu and take it from there. And I know we have to get into all the actual dispatching stuff and scheduling, time tracking, all this stuff. So we'll get to that. These are the easy things, just brushing through these, and then we'll get to some of the other scheduling items. All right, so I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.